writing is on the wall for the Reavers, so step right up and sign here on the dotted line. A couple of Council Bluffs kids catch on in Division I. 3 more score big with Iowa Western. Now, is it fair when the 13th ranked men's basketball team throws it down with the state fair? The Reavers look to run Central right out of town. Same deal for the ladies. Iowa Western crowding Crowder in Canesville. What a finish at Lewis Central. The Titans and Falcons down to the last shot. The girls shooting it out at St. Albert. A photo finish as well. And speaking of defense,
I'm Coach Blackburn, defensive coordinator, Iowa Western football. The Bluffs Sports Zone starts right now.
hello, I'm JJ Davis, and welcome to another edition of the Bluffs Sports Zone. National Signing Day, a day when dreams come true for some and when reality sets in for others. And when it's all said and done, who done good? Well, for one, it was another good day for the Reavers. Lots to yell about if you're an Iowa Western fan. The Reavers here on defense have tackled one of the best in-state recruiting classes in the program's 6-year history.
You have to. I mean, that's where your success is going to come from. You know, you get those best in-state kids, and then you can filter in some of your needs with the out-of-staters.
Among the 21 in-state recruits signing letters of intent are Class 4A All-Staters, and they include John Swisher, a D lineman from West Des Moines Valley, teammate running back Tyus Mason, defensive back Rico Gafford from Dowling, and second-team All-State quarterback Nate Bolin from Iowa City West.
I think we signed 7, in-state offensive linemen. That's always a big need. Defensive linemen's a need as well. Maybe we signed a few there. We got a few more that you got to have some depth there. But those are the big targets, and we got some skill guys, in the state this year that maybe in the past we haven't had. Tucker Colgett is a good athlete. Obviously, his senior season was cut short, but we know what he can do. He's a football player, and we're going to play him at the slot receiver. Dylan Gardner, a good athlete. We're going to play him at linebacker. Did some good things at running back as well, but I just think his athleticism fits him a little bit better at linebacker. Jared Thompson's just, he's a good athlete. We really don't know exactly where he'll play yet, but he's now put on a lot of weight since his senior season's been over and working extremely hard, and he could probably play a couple positions. I think the biggest thing was we got a bunch that they come from winning programs. They know how to win, what it takes to win, and I think when they can be brought up that way and then come into our program, that's what we expect.
Great win, man.
Expect the recruiting of 20 out-of-state players to pick up. According to the Reavers head coach, it's really, quote-unquote, just beginning. So the journey continues for some of our local heroes, as you've just heard. And for others, well, it's off to Division I, playing 5-card stud at Abraham Lincoln. AL features a full house, 3 links signed with the Reavers, and 2 go Division I, including all-conference receiver Brandon Colpitz.
I loved the way that they all seemed like they were best friends with each other. They cared about each other and were there for each other, and it felt like a family. That was something I really wanted to be a part of, and I'm looking forward to being a part of.
It's definitely a good experience, get out of Council Bluffs, experience college life, and experience new teammates in different state, people you've never met before. And of course, as you probably know, we have a couple of guys from Council Bluffs previously that I'll be able to work with and connect with, so it'll be a good experience.
It's a big deal to me to be able to stay in town. I got a couple of younger brothers that I can stick around and watch them grow up and do sports, and I can support my high school team.
I'm excited about the opportunity because of all the coaching and all the players that have gone through the program the past couple of years with Jake Waters and all the other kids.
I just felt that it'd be the best opportunity for me to play in my first 2 years of college instead of going somewhere else and maybe not playing as much. And I think it's very affordable too.
So, from AL to Iowa Western and beyond, the Lynx full house comes up a winner. The tradition of winning, that is St. Albert. 2 more Falcons fly just a few blocks away to Iowa Western. Now, the first, as we've heard from Coach Stroh, former QB, DB, all everything, Tucker Coljet.
They wanted me to play the offensive side of the ball, and Northwest and Morningside wanted me to play the defensive side of the ball. So I liked playing the offensive side, and JD's there, and so I get to play with him and a bunch of other people I used to play with, and so almost feels like it's family like it was at St. Albert, and I like the feel that St. Albert gave me, and I think it's going to be good for me.
On my visit, Coach Stroh told me that I have a good chance of coming in and playing, and he can see things in me, and he thinks I have good potential. So I believe in what he says, and I've talked to a few of his ex-players, and he says he's a very truthful man, and I want to play under a guy just like that.
And just like that, 2 more from a championship program join another championship program, as in national championship. Lewis Central comes up a winner as well, as the Titans send 3 on their way, thanks to National Signing Day. Defensive lineman Mason Brinkman is headed to Division II Augustana. Phil Gilman goes the JUCO route and Iowa Central. Jacob Cook will be cooking at Dordt College. Cooking at LC Friday night. The Titans and Falcons burn it up. But first, the Reavers crash the State Fair when we come back.
At Council Bluffs Savings Bank, our goal is to help you, your families, and your businesses grow and prosper for generations. We take pride in our community, whether it's volunteering our time or helping individuals, families, and businesses succeed. We provide you with the personal service and attention you deserve. With over 220 years of banking experience, decisions are made locally. We are Council Bluffs people operating at Council Bluffs Bank to help Council Bluffs be a better place to work and live. Council Bluffs Savings Bank, hometown banking, the way it used to be. Member FDIC.
This portion of the Bluffs Sports Zone brought to you by Cutler O'Neill, Meyer Woodring, family-owned funeral home, serving Council Bluffs in southwest Iowa for over 100 years.
It is down the crunch time for the Iowa Western men's basketball team. I mean, the Reavers lose 2, then win 2. Will the real Iowa Western please stand up? And next up, not exactly a state fair, even though the Reavers did outrun the Roadrunners by 10 at their place last time. And this time, well, the fair comes to Canesville. The 13th ranked Reavers come out like gangbusters. Darian Williams just sends it down. The freshman a game-high 26 points. Shaquille Calhoun steals the show, and just like that, it's 10-2 Iowa Western. But State Fair fights back. The Roadrunners grab a 23-22 lead. Kevin Punter hits it. The home team 6 threes in the first half. Calhoun from the corner. Reavers up 35-28 under 6 minutes left. The visitors shoot over 60% before the break, and here's how. Joseph Thomason for a drive. Iowa Western says hello to an 8-point lead just over 6 minutes into the second half. Ryan Bowie lays it in. It's 57-49. State Fair then goes on a 12-0 run. Kevin Punter, 2 of his 20. The Roadrunners out-rebound the Reavers 23-13 after the break. And on the other end, Punter kicks it in. 61-57 State Fair, 11:03 to go in the game.
They may go back to zone. If they play some zone first half, if they do, we'll just be in regular high-low.
Head coach Jim Morris on point. DJ Walker off the dribble, down by 1. but the visitors on the boards. Kedar Edwards leads the way with 24 points, 73-65 Roadrunners. The home team puts up 28 three-pointers and knocks down 13. The lead is cut to 5, but State Fair 10 of 20 from behind the line. Thomason, number 32, just drills it, 77-68 Roadrunners, over 5 to go. Dondre Alexander, 6 of 7 from behind three-point line. The Roadrunners run over Iowa Western 100-88.
No, you got to guard. I mean, you know that. I mean, you're giving up 100 points at home, very difficult to win the thing. And we're capable of guarding, but there's not enough grit. I just didn't think there was enough fight in them. Yeah, I question mental toughness. I really do. You know, we get down a little bit, you see the shoulders drop, and all of a sudden, instead of getting down slapping the ball, instead of slapping the floor and getting down and guarding, we kind of stand straight up, and there's not much fight in us. We can yell and scream, put them on the line. We can do whatever we want to do, but in your heart, you have to know you don't want to lose, and you're going to do whatever it takes not to lose. And at this point in time, I don't think there's just enough fight in us, and disappointing.
Gut check time for the Reavers, as Iowa Western's now lost 3 of its last 5 games. So the Reavers dropped their first of 4 straight home games. And it's not going to get any easier, because next up, Central from Nebraska, then Moberly from Missouri, and then, drum roll please, that's right, top-ranked Indian Hills. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Here's IWTV student Austin Heinen.
It's a Reaver rematch against the Central Raiders. Visitors get a 4-0 start. Tyron Critwell, off of the second effort, puts it in. 5 minutes in, Big Blue strikes back from downtown. Ryan Bowie. Home team trails 9-7. Men in Black continue to take at him. David Plain, a little up and under. Whew, that's smooth. On the other side, DJ Walker, off the Shaq Calhoun dime, drills it from a different area code. 17-13 Iowa Western. Reavers now on a 12-4 run. Deshaun Munson down low, banks it home. Central gets a run of its own. Critwell, excuse me, sir, floats it home to tie it at 19. 5 minutes left. Bowie had 18 points, hits it and one. Call it a hit and one. Reavers lead at the break, 36-30. Couple minutes into the second half, DeAndre Hollis Johnson strokes the trifecta. Raiders in front, 43-40. Then Iowa Western goes on a 15-4 run. Munson with 31 points. Reverse finish and one. Reavers floored offensively. Airball, but Tyrone helps you out with that. With the jam, 66-51 home team. Big Blue continues to roll. Rob Robinson in a crowd. Second effort and one. Reavers sink the Raiders 97-81.
We just guarded better. Up there I just didn't think we guarded at all. They shot layups on us, and we've gotten better defensively. We still have ways to go with it, but just did a better job of keeping them out of the paint. When they're in the paint all night long and you got the big kid in there getting offensive putbacks, it's pretty tough. But we made them shoot outside shots. They didn't shoot it particularly well.
All of our guys were pumped up to play against their guys, so we just took it a little bit more personal this time and showed them that that we're the D1 team, they're the D2.
Helped each other out. We told each other, keep your head. They're gonna come out physical. So we're gonna play back physical, and we're gonna keep our head. And that's why with so many texts, and everything. So we stayed focused. We was mentally prepared and everything, and we were just ready.
3 games left, Coach. What do you have to do to get the W's?
Well, we just got to keep playing. We got to keep guarding and doing a better job of that. And I thought that we made a step tonight. I thought we did a nice job on a very quick team. Central Nebraska's got quick players, and I thought we did a nice job with that. So defensively, we got to get better. And we just got to take one game at a time, and just got to make sure we're tough enough to step on the floor every single possession. And tonight was a good start for it.
Iowa Western avenges a previous 16-point loss. For the Bluffs Sports Zone, I'm Austin Heinen. Earlier in the day, Reaver women hosting Crowder College. Big Blue gets rolling quickly. Blair Harding had a couple of trays. Reavers had 7 total. Crowder, just 18 first half points. Ariana Galeos off the second effort. Abigail Asoro with the team high 15 points, sinks it and one. Iowa Western a commanding 45-18 lead. Second half, Lady Riders look to rally. Dorian Briggs, 12 on the game. Reavers just keep striking. Jasmine Trimboli, 3 of her 12 points. Big Blue runs away with it as Allison Jackson gets a double-double. 15 points, 10 boards as Iowa Western wins 77-55. Coach Turgeon speaks on the road ahead.
We have a huge week next week. We play Moberly on Tuesday and then turn around and play Iowa Central on Wednesday. So that's going to be a tough test for us. But, you know, at this time of year, it's really hard to put in new stuff. So you just got to, it's really basically about effort and executing what we already do.
Iowa Western has won 8 straight now at Canesville. For the Bluff Sports Zone, I'm Austin Heinen.
Thanks, Austin. Crazy girls game in Saints country. Hey, crazier than that at Lewis Central. After the break.
For more than a quarter century, thousands of athletes have relied on this team, Jenny Ed Sports Med. Their sole focus is to prevent, diagnose, and treat your sports injury, getting you back in the action. Jenny Ed Sports Med partners with Neb Ortho, giving you consistent one-on-one care from diagnosis to rehab. And since every injury an athlete is different, they've even developed a sports injury clinic specifically designed for athletes. Jenny Ed Sports Med.
I see it!
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
You know, when two city teams play, it ain't over till it's over. Just ask the Titans and Falcons. No lead is safe. A lot of emotions on the line at Lewis Central, not to mention bragging rights as well. Here's IDub TV student Michael Byland.
Packed house at Lewis Central as Dale Scott and the Falcons look to fly by Dan Miller and the Titans. John McGinn gets St. Albert started with a nice reverse layup. LC using the inside-out game as senior Tony Rue ties it at 10. Off the steal, Austin Simmons finds Lincoln Rodenberg. He puts it down. Lewis Central up 16-10 after 1. In a back-and-forth second quarter, Jacob Avey finds Colton McBride. The very next Falcon possession, Avey takes it himself. Visitors down 22-21. Rue finds Rodenberg in transition. He lays it up and in. Home team up after half, 35-28. Second half. Moran to Rue, 4-2. LC with its largest lead up 45-34. McBride with a nice crossover. He gets St. Albert 3 points the old-fashioned way. That starts a Falcon comeback. McBride again with the steal. Lays it up and gets fouled. Tyler Nixon would draw a technical. That ties it up 47-all after 3. Travis Miller gives the Falcons their first lead since the first quarter, 50-49 St. Albert. Falcons go on an 11-2 run as Samuel Sneed gets the putback. Away team up 9 with less than 2 minutes to go. But with a couple clutch threes from Cody Cook and Lincoln Rodenberg, the Titans find themselves within 1 with just 9 seconds to play. Moran drives. Dishes to Rodenberg. He's fouled and will shoot 2 with just a half second left. After making the first free throw, the senior has a chance to take the lead. Lewis Central wins an instant classic, 64-63.
The crowds were fantastic. It was a packed gym, and that's fun for the kids. That's what it's about, you know, for them to get to play. That's why guys work hard to get a chance to play in an atmosphere like that. So I'm just really proud of the kids.
we shoot the block in practice. I had confidence in myself that I'd make it, and I took up there and I got it done. Just a great team win all together, all around.
That was a great atmosphere, the loudest game I've ever been a part of. Their crowd was great, our crowd was great. They're going back and forth all night, just like we were.
New York, next trip down.
Most 1A, 2A teams don't get the benefit of playing a 4A team in a tight gym and playing in a district championship type atmosphere, and we get the benefit. You know, what we do with that benefit is up to us. We can learn from it, be used to it, and you know, I think our kids are, and I'm not disappointed how we played well.
At first we struggled a little bit shooting, and then in the second half we brought our intensity, like Coach told us at halftime, and we really played better in the second half and tied it up, and then it was a game from there.
We showed some toughness, you know. I thought we showed some toughness there in the fourth quarter, and I thought for a period there we went to sleep and didn't execute a whole lot, didn't run a whole lot, and I thought St. Albert did a good job defensively, but really just toughness and will to win.
Lewis Central wins the first meeting as foes in the Hawkeye 10. For the Bluffs Sports Zone, I'm Michael Byland.
Thanks, Michael. What a game. What a finish as Lewis Central just continues to roll. The Titans have now won 7 in a row. LC sits at 11-6. St. Albert drops to 10-9. And the Falcons have 2 road games left at Harlan and AL. The Lynx just 2 games under 500. Abraham Lincoln, after an 11-day layoff, tips it off with Lewis Central Tuesday night, February 11th, and of course, we'll be there. And finally, the struggle continues at TJ. The Yellow Jackets resting at 3-15. Next up, our play of the week. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who stands the tallest of them all? On the other side.
Schedule your campus visit today. Iowa Western. The world is waiting.
The girls running the floor at St. Albert. And you know, it's not just a league game. Of course, it's much more than that. The 7th-ranked Lewis Central makes the journey cross town to meet up with an old friend. Of course, these two are no strangers to each other on and off the court. Friday night, the Titans and host Saints knuckle up for the first time since St. Albert's joined the Hawkeye 10. Kylie Ferguson on the fly, and the Saints the early lead. Lewis Central running the floor as well. Paige Beacom to the bank, 8-6 LC. Ferguson again, the senior, one of her 3 trays, and the home team by 1. The visitors grab a 14-12 lead heading into the second quarter. Beacom to Cassandra Larson. Lewis Central head coach Derek Archer drawing up a defense that forces 19 St. Albert turnovers. The Titans pushing the ball up the floor, 26-19 LC. The Saints with the cutter. Maddie Munger cuts it to 4. But the visitors again in transition. Lewis Central leading 27-23 at the break. Second half, Alexa Spielman knocks down one of her 2 threes, 30-24 LC. St. Albert cuts it to 2. Kylie Ferguson leads everybody with 27 points. The Titans answer. Dana Doblin on the wing sticks it. The lead back up to 4. The Saints in the half court. J.C. Martin hits it.
We're gonna change up and go 4 out, 1 in.
Dick Wettengalen, the home team, trails 38-36 with 7:22 left in the final quarter. But Spielman, who finishes with 10, finding the range. Lewis Central, a 12-0 run. Beacom for 3. The senior a team high 15, and suddenly it's 50-36 with just over 4 minutes to play. LC just hits the free throws down the stretch, and St. Albert without a field goal in the final 3 minutes. The Titans take it 57-44.
At the end of the day, it wasn't pretty, but it's a win, and that's kind of what we're taking from it. Girls did a really good job in the fourth quarter of making them shoot the outside shot.
What do you think the difference was in the fourth quarter?
We made some adjustments the second half, but making Ferguson shoot the threes. But other than that, we just hit some shots and got some confidence, and it ultimately came down to how hard we worked, and we really wanted to win.
Where I really thought they won the game was on the glass tonight. I'm not sure what the figures show for them, but we just felt all night long they were a little bit quicker off the board, and especially on the offensive boards in the first half, and that just really hurt us.
We played good defense, we played hard, it just wasn't our game for control. We had a lot of turnovers, just made silly mistakes that, aren't really us as a team, and it just bit us in the butt at the end.
Lewis Central wins its 6th straight game, and the Saints drop their 3rd in their last 5. The Titans do it on defense, and of course, that's been the trademark of Lewis Central these last few years. 7th-ranked LC runs its record to 14-4. St. Albert dips to 11-9 with 1 regular season game left, a homer against mighty Harlan. AL 9-10. And next up for Chad Shaw and the Lynx, another rivalry game, Tuesday the 11th against Lewis Central. And TJ, well, when will it end? The regular season is almost over. And now it's time for our Play of the Week, brought to you by Buena Vista University. In a frenzy at Lewis Central, half a second left in the game. The Titans, Lincoln Rodenberg ties it at 63, now for the win over city rival St. Albert. And Mr. Clutch comes through as LC outguts the Falcons 64-63. Lincoln Rodenberg with our Play of the Week. The Play of the Week is brought to you by Buena Vista University. Earn your bachelor's with face-to-face classes right here in Council Bluffs. So, that's it. The curtain comes down on another week. And as the regular season winds down, the second season, get ready to crank it up. It's coming, and soon. So, until next week, for the Bluff Sports Zone, I'm J.J. Davis, and as always, I'll see you around.